What is up, my friends and fellow collectors out there? Today I put on my Luca Designs Han Solo jacket because we're unboxing something hot today. We got a Hot Toys Han Solo from the Solo, a Star Wars movie figure in the house. It's time for Nerdgasm. Welcome back to another unboxing video. If this is your first time on the channel, we do a lot of talk about collecting as well as Star Wars and a whole bunch of other geek stuff. So if you're into all of that, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date on all of the content. All right, so we got a Hot Toys figure in the house. So as you can see, it's actually already open. If you caught us last week for our live video, this figure is part of Seth and mine's $3,600 shopping spree on Hot Toys. So this right here, we already kind of unboxed it a little bit for you guys live, but today I'm gonna unbox it, give you guys a lot more detail and close-ups, put it in some poses, go through all the paces that I usually do with my figures. So that's what we're gonna do. So Han Solo, man, I got this one here at Comic Concepts. And you know, initially he was on my radar. I saw him a couple times over at the local comic book store near me, but Comic Concepts had a really good deal on it, so I ran and picked it up from there. I'm gonna leave a link in the description below for you guys to get to Comic Concepts. They don't just sell Hot Toys, they sell statues of all kinds, Prime One Studios, Sideshow. You can get Queen Studios, I think, from them. A couple other different statue companies. You guys know I'm really big into statues, so you know, if you guys are looking for some good deals on them, they got better prices than anywhere else I've seen online. So definitely check them out. I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to get to it. So without further ado, let's get this thing out of the box and see what this thing looks like. All right, so before we get this thing out of the box, let's just take a look at the box and just admire the beauty of the way these Hot Toys boxes look. I think they do a fantastic job. You got a look at Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo right here on the front. So you can see that really nice. I think that's done very well. I love this banner that they have here at the bottom that shows him again, and then the Han Solo Star Wars. Most of the Hot Toys boxes come in this black style box like that, the real classic look. It says Han Solo up here, and then you have all of the disclaimers and credits and everything. So very pretty, very elegant box. Shipping came in real nicely from Comic Concepts, so love that. There's no damage to the box at all. So good job there. Let's open it up. All right, so then after you take off the front lid, you get this nice art print right here of Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo. As you can see, I love these things. A lot of the Hot Toys come with it, so if you're into displaying your figures, I've seen a lot of guys take and put this image here in the background, which is really cool. So it gives yourself, you know, something else to display along with the figure. So then you take it off and you have your figure in the box, and that's the way it comes. So you can see you got your 6 to 12-inch figure right there. You got his DL44, some other parts right here. You got swap out hands and then a base behind all that. So let's pop it out, see what the figure looks like and all the accessories. All right, so let's take a look at all the accessories that you get with this. So you start off, you get the DL44 blaster. Check that out. The detail is fantastic, man. Look at all of that, the texturing and all the little parts they put into it. You can even see the holes on the barrel. Look at the gold and everything. That looks really, really good. And look at the grips. Wow, you know. And then it even has some moving parts. So that's really cool. All right, you get a watch that you can put on his wrists. You get the lucky dice, which I actually have a pair of these or one of these on my car, so that's cool. Love that, it's pretty neat. You get a droid communicator that you can take and put and attach onto his belt clip. You get a swap out hand for the trigger. If you look at the texturing on the fingers, man, that's amazing. Really nice work on that. All right, you get a hand with the glove, kind of open hand relaxed. Look at the detail on that too. Holes in the gloves. It really looks like leather. Very, very nice. All right, you get one with the glove that looks like it's holding the gun. So you got the trigger finger again. You got an open hand with the glove. All right, you got another open hand with the glove, and then you get some pegs that you can swap out the hands with. You get the crotch holder. All right, and then you get the base. And check out the detail on the base here. So I'm really loving that display on the front there. It says Han Solo on it. And if you can see the detail behind it, it looks like the Millennium Falcon behind it, which is really neat. I like how that looks. The top of the base is kind of weak, I think. It's meant to look like sand, and it's got kind of like a texturing to it, but it kind of reminds me of like a countertop to a kitchen. It really doesn't have much to it. And then on top of that, it's stuck to the base. So there's no taking that off. Or maybe you could peel it back off, but it doesn't have, you know, like some of the other Star Wars bases have where you just got a flooring to it, which I would prefer. But that's all the accessories. Let's take a look at the figure. All right, so here's a look at the figure. I think they did a great job with it. It looks very, very cool. Love the portrait of Alden Ehrenreich. They did a nice job on that. I think it looks pretty accurate. The hair comes off, which I thought was pretty interesting. Makes me wonder if they had an idea to give you a different scalp to put on there. But there wasn't any other included in the box, so I don't know what the whole point of that was. Let me give you guys a close-up on the details on this, is because the cut and sew and all the little fabric parts that they put on it is real nice. The only thing that I'm not feeling on it right now is that the ankles feel like it's just like frame. Like it doesn't feel like there's any kind of sculpting down here, which allows for the movement of the boot, but then it also makes this feel very deflated. So I feel like that could be a problem when you're taking and posing it. I may be wrong, but that's something to consider. So let me zoom in on this here real quick so you guys can see the details. All right, check out that portrait, man. Just insane how close they did on the likeness. I think they did a great job with that, with this portrait. And the details on the scalp and the hair and everything. You can see that they painted it different colors, so they got, you know, browns and blacks in there. Gives it nice depth, which I think looks good. The cut and sew looks really good. Check out the stitching in the jacket. You know, it's even got his patch here on the side, like it did in the movie, which I think is really neat. It opens up and you got his shirt, so you can see he's got his undershirt there, which looks good. It's like I'm doing this in reverse. I gotta keep it in front of the camera. All right, and then you got the belt. Check out the details in the belt. You got some pockets, the buckle, looks good. The upper belt here, you can even see the holes in the belt, which looks really nice. They did a really good job. Check out all those little accessories they have in the belt. They got a holster for his gun, all right? And on the back, you can see they got more of that, which looks good. They even got the little back straps here for the jacket, so you can tighten it up. The boots, they look just like his boots, but you can see how it looks kind of deflated there, you know? Seems kind of weird. Like you'd think they would have a little bit more ankle for it to wrap around. But still, nice detail in the stitching, so great work on that. All right, and even got the little details here on the side of the pants, which look good. So overall, really nice job with the way the figure came out. I think the sculpting and everything looks really good. Let's check out the posability on it. We're gonna take a look at the articulation, and then we'll put it in a few poses. So let's get to it. All right, so let's see what we can do with the posing. So the head can move the scalp. The head can look that far down. You can go that high up, so it has a lot of articulation there. You can obviously turn the head all the way around if you wanted to. You got some side-to-side action in the portrait, so that's cool. All right, in the arms, you can go that high up with the arms, so you get a full whole Michelangelo style look, or no, that was Leonardo. You can go that far forward with the hand, with the arm, I mean, that far back with the arm, okay? In the wrist, in the elbow, you get that kind of motion there, so it looks like it feels like there's a double joint here in the elbow, so it can go pretty high up. It has some turn action in the upper bicep, so you get a little bit of turn here, so that's good, you can turn that. You have no separate turning in the forearm, but you do have turns in the wrist. Doesn't feel like you can, yeah, I don't want to break it. All right, doesn't feel like you have this kind of motion with the extending and contracting of the wrist like that. You can go backward and forward like this. I wonder if you turn it. You can. That's how that works. See, I'm new to Hot Toys. So if you turn it, you can get the whole extension and retracting of the wrist. So very cool. All right, new to Hot Toys. In the waist, you can go about that far in the turn in the waist. You can go that far this way. The clothes kind of restricted a little bit. You can tilt back like that. You can tilt forward like that. There is no separate break in the chest, so there's no turning there. With the legs, you can spread the legs about that far before the pants start giving you a little bit of fight. You can go that far forward with the legs and about that far back, okay? And then there is some turning at the upper thigh, but you know, only so much is because the pants won't let you go further than that. All right, you have double joints at the knees, so you can get far back that way with the knee, cool. You have no turning at the upper part of the calf, so there's nothing there. In the ankle, you can turn, so that gives you the feeling like you're getting the calf muscle turning. But yeah, you can turn at the ankle. You can go tilt that far back with the ankle, and you can go that far forward, extending your ankle to make the foot go that way. So lots of posability with it. You do have a lot of movement. So let's get him in a couple poses and see what he looks like. All right, here we have him in that classic Han Solo firing gun look, like what I saw in A New Hope. This is where I was getting inspiration from. I swapped out to the gloves because that kind of reminds me of Han when I first met him in A New Hope, so that was neat. Really liking the way you're able to pose the jacket. There's no wiring in it, but because of the way the material is, it seems to fold pretty well. So you're able to give that motion, like, you know, the wind or the motion of him whipping back and firing the gun is giving it some action to the jacket and giving it kind of like a dynamic feel to it. So I'm loving that. Very easy to pose figure, so I love that as well. The clothes don't seem to restrict it too much, so you know, I'm digging that a lot. Very cool. This is going to be the way I pose it more than likely, but let's see what else I can do. All right, here we got another pose of him. And, you know, I love this one too. I got this one off of the Return of the Jedi look, you know, where he's kind of like, you know, his arrogance, his cockiness. That's what Han's known for. So I like that, you know, this pose gives him that type of feel, gives him that look like he's negotiating, swindling somebody or something like that. So I like that you can get that kind of emotion with it, especially since you're able to turn the head just in a way that you can give it that kind of feel. So very cool. Another cool pose I like. All right, and for this last pose, it's kind of similar to the first pose that I put him in, but I really dug him down. You know, I wanted to bring him almost crouching completely down, so his knees are really bent and a very sharp angle on both of them. I got the arm pulled way back. You know, I could take and even maybe add a little bit more to it by flipping open the jacket like that, which I think that'll give it a little bit more feel. Like the way the gun's extended out, and you can have the head aimed in the same direction as the gun. So very, very cool. This, and it still balances. I'm not even using the base. So I love the way this character balances out very well. Awesome figure. Can't really say enough good things about it. The only thing that I again don't feel too much is where the ankles are. That it's, you know, doesn't have any sculpting there to fill the boot up a little bit better. But other than that, everything about this figure is pretty awesome. I like it. You know, it has a very strong likeness to the character, to the actor. So they did a great job there. I kind of wish they maybe would have given us a swap out portrait, you know, with maybe him smirking, you know, or an angry one where he's concentrating, and, you know, so you can swap out different portraits like that. That would be a real nice option to have with this one. But otherwise, very cool. The cut and sew looks really good. The posability is really good. The balancing is really good. So everything about this figure, I'm loving a whole lot. I definitely would recommend picking this one up if you're into Han Solo and you know, or a 6 scale collector. So very, very cool. As always, guys, you can always pick this one up. It's still available at Comic Concepts. Again, I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to get to it. Thank you for joining me for this episode. And until next time, guys, keep it marvelous, and may the Force be with you.